earth. You are caring for yourself, and you need what is good, and exercise is only a piece of that. And so that begins to extend to things like food. I think it also extends to things like rest. It's not just what we eat. It's not just how much we move. It's how much we stop moving. And into many areas like that, I think, but it begins with I'm a person of worth and value, and therefore I can do things that are good for myself, not mistreat myself. So
great point.
Sometimes too we use food to medicate ourselves, and when we start to get active, we find other things that medicate us better, like getting fit. We find we thrive on that, which does change your eating habits. I know that when I'm not regular in my exercising, my eating habits will get way out of whack.
Good point.
And it does, it takes no effort. My body will just shift, no effort whatsoever. To shift back's a little harder. But when I get there, and I'm the old adage, eat vegetables and fruits and things like that, you do feel better. And you can perform better at whatever your discipline is, whatever you're choosing to do for exercise and fitness. You actually can do it better when you're putting the right foods into you that will help you with your endurance and your strength, and with the desire to go out and actually play tennis or run or whatever it might be.
Yeah, great points. This is wonderful. Let's switch gears just for a moment, and let's talk about fitness and spirituality when it comes to the idea when things happen unexpectedly. And I'm talking about injuries and things that you're moving along, you're on the right path, you're eating right, you're getting rest, it's really going well, and then something happens. And isn't that life at times, that you hit the wall, you hit the dead end. How have you had to deal with that? Because that affects everything from the many parts of our being. How has that affected your spirit, your body, who you are when those things happen, and maybe they're happening now with you?
They can derail you. And for me, it's taking a chance to step back, take a really big deep breath, and say, "Okay, God, where are you in this?" For me, it becomes another component of my spiritual discipline to seek where God is in this injury, whatever it may be, and why now, and why when I finally get my stride going, I feel good, this is all happening, and then you hit that wall or something occurs. Okay, Lord, where are you in this, and what am I going to learn from all this? And try not to get filled with too much despair or get depressed because you can't get out there and do whatever, which you can do very quickly. But for me, it is being very intentional, looking where I see God in this, and how is God using this to build me another way, to build a learning lesson in my spirit, a learning lesson in life, a learning lesson in the church, my experiences around me. So I look for where I find God in this. And that's what helps me to get through the injury and to get motivated to push past that injury. Whether it's a pulled muscle or, this last race I did, I created a hernia and I had to have surgery to fix that, and it's moving past that. Okay, Lord, you sidelined me for a reason. Why? And now getting back into the routine, and I feel like I'm coming in a better place. So sometimes the break is good, although you don't see it at the time. So I don't know.
It certainly is the body's way of telling us something that we can learn from.
Well, and I think God's way of speaking to us too. God uses all kinds of ways to speak to us. Whether when we're running along the road, you're just listening to the rhythm of your feet hitting the pavement, and you're just having this time with God. You're hearing God. God's using that to teach and to grow with God. Well, sometimes an injury can be another way for us to learn and to grow with God, and to be patient. We run in a very fast-paced culture, society, world, and this is a way for God sometimes to say, "Hey, slow down, slow down, and notice. Look at what's around you. See what's going on," because we can just become unfocused on God, because we're pushing for that new goal. For me, it's always a start and finish. I love it because I start.
Yes.
You exercise and I see the finish.
Yes.
You know, if I run a race, I start here and I may finish in the same place, but I finish.
Yes.
There's some completeness to this.
Yes.
And sometimes in our lives, in spirituality, it's a journey, but we don't see the start and finish of each part of that journey. It's chapters.
Great point.
And so that's what it is for me.
Yeah, I think injury is going to be part of any time you start moving in any kind of fitness. For me, it's on the spiritual journey. It's taught me two things. Number one, it's taught me about human limits. We are not God. We are not machines. We do have limits, and sometimes we exceed those, or we've worked too hard, or the body just says, "I'm done for now." And it's a gentle reminder, sometimes a painful reminder, a reminder of I am human. I think the second thing, at least for me, is that it reminds me that my worth is not based in my performance. And now this is for me. I run distance and have for a number of years. And so for like in my own experience right now, I came off this May a ultra trail marathon. I was training for another marathon and then was going to back it up right with a 50K trail run. And lo and behold, in August, I had what appears to be an autoimmune flare. And so my running was like, it went off the cliff. It just got strongly curtailed. And I felt derailed for a time. But as I have continued to move through that experience, what I've been just amazed at is God's faithful presence. And He smiles even if I can't run in the moment, and He delights in us even if we can't cross the finish line. And so my worth is not based in what I can or can't do. And I think that's a wonderful reminder in our culture that tells us you must go, you must do, or if you're in the gym, you must be the meathead, or whatever it is, or you're not worth anything. And I think injury is this time that we can grasp that God remains with us. He remains pleased and delights in us in spite of our inability to perform. It's a wonderful time of growth in these, not pleasant, but joyous at the same time.
Because we're inundated now, especially this time of year, with those messages.
Yes.
You must, you have to.
Yes.
If you don't, your self-worth is diminished.
That's right.
All of these commercials and messages that the world is giving all of us as to who we are and who we should be.
Right.
Which is, let me, we only have a minute or two. I'd like to have you just share a nugget of wisdom that's within you. What would you share, just very briefly, to those people that are listening and watching that may have never have exercised, that maybe are really into exercise, but what's one nugget of wisdom that you could share with our viewers and listeners in the new year as it deals with fitness and spirituality? I'll just kind of use that as a jump ball as we wind down our time together today.
I like what Blake said. It's about worth. God values us. And it took me just making a decision to get up off the couch and go do something.
Great point.
I'm never going to be a top runner. I do it because I love doing it. And I started doing it. If somebody wants to feel good about something, come run with me. Because I'm always joking. Look at the old fat guy running down the street. And it's I enjoy it. If I encourage somebody to move, because if he can do it, I'll do it. And it's just it's that kind of a thing. Just get up and start moving. You don't have to go run. Get up, walk. Get up and just take a stroll in the park. Just do something to start motivating yourself to get your body in motion.
To begin.
And that's it. And use that time as, for me, I always used it for a time to be with God. And use it as a time to renew a relationship with God, maybe. Use it as a time to renew a relationship with somebody else. Take them with a walk with you. So just that, get up and move.
In 10 seconds, what kind of pearl of wisdom could you share?
God made us to move, so just move.
Yeah.
Don't compare yourself with anyone else.
Yeah.
Just be yourself and just start moving.
There's a theme here. Awesome. Gentlemen, thank you so very much. This has been intriguing. I've enjoyed this time that we've had together.
Thank you.
And I want to thank all of you for joining us today. May God bless you in the new year as we continue to move and grow in our spirit. God bless you all.